Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're all doing good. It's your girl Seeker in the house. A very good afternoon to everybody. I hope your Sunday has gone well so far. For some people, it's actually almost bedtime, and for some of us, it's just about lunchtime. Wherever you are at on this life spectrum, a very good day to everybody, and I hope we are all doing good. Today, I just wanted us to think about a few reasons why some people come out of a relationship or they break up with their significant others, but they're not able to fully break away from the relationship, and there's still some kind of correspondence going on in one way or another. Sometimes it's harmless, but a lot of the times when boundaries are not able to be set properly, when there are unresolved feelings and people are still hoping against hope that, for some reason, maybe we can come back together and, continue where we left off. You open yourself up to potential dangers with your relationship. Relationships are good, but they can also be flawed with issues if the two people involved are not, emotionally and psychologically screwed on right to be able to do what is helpful and beneficial to them. In a separate video, we will talk about some of the not so good things that can happen when you've moved on with your life, presumably into a new relationship, and you're still carrying, baggage from your past into your current one. That's a separate video. But today, I want to just talk about some of the reasons why a lot of people find themselves that they've broken up from a relationship, and yet they're still keeping their ex-boyfriends and girlfriends warm. The first reason is emotional attachment. When you've been with somebody for a significant period of time, you have had intimate moments together. Let's say you've slept together for the pendency of your relationship. And, you both know how it feels with each other, and you've been with them for all of that time. You can close your eyes and literally remember significant or specific things that were done to you or you exchanged with each other. When you break up, it is quite difficult for a lot of people to process all of that information and pack it away. Like, be done. It's over. That was then. This is now. And so you're still hoping and holding on to all of those things. And, like a ruminant, you bring out the food and you re-chew it, just like cows do. You're reprocessing and recycling that information in your mind over and over and over and over again. And sometimes some people actually still think that it's actually happening in real time because of that attachment emotionally to that person who says this relationship does not work for me anymore, especially when the decision to break up was one person's decision. There are some breakups where the two people are mature enough. They sit down and have a conversation about, look, this thing is not working. The other person is also in agreement, and the two people split up. That is in the minority. A lot of the times, what tends to happen is one person thinks that this thing is a done deal. We're always going to be together. Nothing is ever going to break us up. And then it doesn't end up like that. And so one person has moved on because for them, emotionally, they're disconnected. But the other person who thought this was a done deal is not quite at that stage yet. And so this whole emotional attachment to the person who's breaking away, it hurts. And so even sometimes when the person concedes literally and clearly that this relationship is over, they're still keeping to it. Why? Because they haven't processed their feelings, the whole intimate situation around this person breaking away. And so it's so difficult for them to just shut that door. So they may even agree to the fact that you are split up, but emotionally they still think you guys are still connected. They can still pick up their phone at whatever time and call you. You can have a chat. I've heard instances of people who claim that they've broken up, but they're still sleeping together behind closed doors. You know, they're telling the whole world they're split up, but in actual fact, they're still doing their do. Their deed is still being done. And it's all because it's so difficult when you've been intimate or, you know, been in that situation with somebody for a very long time. And then all of a sudden the person is saying, hey, we're not doing this no more. It takes time for some people to process that. And so that emotional attachment is what is still keeping, you know, the person that says you've broken away still hanging around you. The second thing is that there's a lot of nostalgia and, you know, it's like all these fond memories that you had, a bit like what we were talking about a few seconds ago. You know, maybe there's some memorable places that you went to together, you traveled together, you went to Spain, you went to Barbados, you went to Jamaica, you went to the States. Like there's some places that you only think about when you think about that person. And so because of all those fond memories that you have, you still think that you have to keep in touch with them. You talk about it. Do you remember how 15 years ago, you know, we went to Lagos and we went to sit at this joint and we ate this and we did this and you held my hand. And we girls were very good at that. A lot of ladies have very photographic imagery, can remember every scene of everything that happened. If you're like that, I pray that God gives you the grace that, God forbid, if that sort of thing happens to you, you can really process all of that and move on with your life. It is so difficult for some people to be able to do. The third thing is unresolved feelings. You know, you're broken up. It's not working. One person says, I don't want you anymore. But the other person is not at that place of accepting that this is a done deal and they can't be with you anymore. You can't be with them anymore. I was watching a movie yesterday that actually inspired this video today. And basically in the movie, this guy had been with his wife for a number of years. The lady went and cheated on him with the next door neighbor and she got pregnant for him. And the husband found out about it, and now they're in the process of getting a divorce. She realized that she'd messed up, and she wanted her husband to forgive her, for them to move on. But the husband said, I can't deal with this. You can't be carrying somebody else's pregnancy, and for me to be the one that is staying with you, so go be with him. Through the whole thing, the process of divorce, something happens. The woman gets involved in a near fatal accident because she's upset with, you know, how the husband is not able to forgive her and is in a coma. She lies in this coma with the machines for a long time, but somehow the husband couldn't bring himself to asking the hospital to switch the machine off. This woman is in this coma for 2 years. And then one day out of the blue, she wakes up. When she wakes up, she still has her memory intact. But somehow she's told her family that she can remember everything. But that she didn't want the husband that she was almost on the verge of divorcing to know that that was how it was. And she was manipulating him to stay with her. This guy, because it had been 2 years, he had also moved on. He never thought his wife was going to wake up. And he met another girl, dated her for about a year, proposed to her. And it was at the point of proposal that the wife woke up. Now, what is he going to do? He never told his girlfriend, the new one, that he had a wife and that they were getting a divorce and the accident. He didn't tell her anything. So now what does he do? He has to own up to the fiancé, the new fiancé, that, hey, I had a wife who fell into a coma. And when he did that, the girlfriend got upset and, you know, she was moving away from the place. But just in the nick of time, the wife who had manipulated the husband to keep the marriage was talking to a friend of hers. And in the conversation was telling the friend that she can still remember everything. She knows that they were getting a divorce, but she doesn't want the husband to find out because she still loves the husband and wants to keep the marriage. And by the way, when that accident happened, she lost the baby or the pregnancy for that other neighbor. Now, she didn't realize that the husband had heard the conversation. She also made a mistake of sending a text message to warn her younger sister to keep her mouth shut about the husband not finding out about this secret of her remembering everything, and mistakenly sent the message to her husband. So this is now a done deal. The husband divorces her and goes on to live with this other woman that he had proposed to, and they were about to get married when the wife woke up. What is the moral of this whole story? The wife did wrong. They were going to get a divorce, but she had unresolved feelings. She still thought that, even though I messed up, I still love my husband. I still want to keep him. I still want the marriage. But the man was mentally, emotionally, and, on the verge of physically taking her out of his mind. And these are some of the reasons why a lot of people would say, oh, we've broken up, or my boyfriend left me, or my girlfriend left me. But they're still contemplating and playing around with the idea of maybe if I can manipulate the situation, I can force him or her to love me still. Or maybe if I got girls, if I get pregnant for my ex, he will come back for me. Even when you were single, they didn't come back for you. I don't know why you think that when you get pregnant and bring another human being, that some people will deem a complication into the whole situation. Somehow, that is going to be what changes your whole, the whole incident or circumstance that you find yourself in. I always say this, that love can never be coerced, forced, manipulated in any way, shape, or form. If somebody wants to be with you, they want to be with you. And if they don't want to be with you, it doesn't matter what you do. They just simply don't want to be with you anymore. And the sooner you understand and accept that, as painful as it is, the better it is for you. Because a lot of people think that, if I go to his house, I always call him all the time, his new woman will get upset, they'll have a fight, and then he'll call me back and we'll make up, and then the woman will pack her things and leave, and I can have him back. But the problem is this: when somebody is emotionally disconnected from you, when they're done, they're done. You can try to manipulate the situation with anything you want. If they don't want you, darling, they don't want you. And it's as simple as that. And the earlier you understand that, the earlier you accept that, as painful as it were, and move on with your life, the better it is for you. Two more things I want to mention. One of them is friendship and companionship. Sometimes some people genuinely were friends even before they started dating, or before the relationship went to the other side of things where intimacy came in. And I've seen in some instances that even when they break up, especially when their family involvement, somebody was somebody's friend, the parents were friends before, and then one person is dating somebody else's son and all of that, the people may split up. But the family have now all become so intertwined that it is so difficult for the two people to say we're never going to speak to each other ever again. Having said that, proper boundaries need to be set. And if you know that you're that sort of person that cannot distinguish between, hey, we're done, we're not sleeping together anymore, there's no emotional connection, attachment anymore, then I suggest that it's better for you to cut ties and cut it wholly than for you to be convincing yourself that, but we are just friends. We were friends before we even got into this relationship that didn't work. So, we can still keep being friends. There's a very thin line between having slept with somebody for a long period of time. It is very easy to slip back into that place. And that's what a lot of people keep deceiving themselves about. The whole, me, I trust myself so much now. I'm married. I'm a preacher. I'm a man of God. You know, if you go and bring any of my exes, they can do everything they want to do and nothing will happen. I don't know who you're kidding. I don't know who it is that you're lying to, apart from yourself. It doesn't take a lot to light a flame that was turned off 30 years ago. It doesn't take a lot. So please, do yourself a favor. You're not Jesus Christ of Nazareth. You're a human being with blood running through your veins. And feelings. You know, people think that cheating is some, abstract thing that is there. It is very easy for lines to be crossed. And so if you know that there's somebody in your life that you've been emotionally involved with, there's been some intimacy, something that has gone on between you in the past. It doesn't matter whether you've been married before, divorced, you're still in a marriage, that person is also married. It doesn't matter. It does not take a lot for you to cross those lines. And so try to keep their number, always calling them. You're constantly in touch with them. It's just opening up a can of worms that a lot of people are not able to have control over. A year or so ago, there was this story in the newspaper where this girl and this guy had broken up. The guy was married. She had also eventually met somebody else. They had done the traditional marriage. If you're African, the families had sat, the bride price had been paid, but these people had decided that they wanted to do the ordinance marriage. Don't forget that traditional marriage in African setting is still a marriage. Your bride price has been paid, and so you're still a wife. They had done this, and there was a week between the ordinance marriage and the traditional marriage. What a lot of people in Africa, especially in Ghana, call engagement. That's no engagement. These people have paid bride price. And so technically, this woman was already a married woman. Anyhow, they met on a Wednesday. She was still keeping in touch with her ex-boyfriend. They were still talking. They were still sleeping together. And on the eve of the wedding day, the wife decided that, let's just do it one last time for old time's sake. Unbeknownst to her, the husband-to-be had been hearing a lot of things around that, this woman has been sleeping with her ex-boyfriend who is married. And so, my friend, please, before you put the rings on the finger to seal everything legally, please, let's observe this woman and see what happens. So the man had contracted private investigator, and they were, trailing this woman, unbeknownst to her. Friday evening, she came back, having seen her husband. She came back home, told him, I'll see you tomorrow. You're going to see me in my beautiful wedding dress, and then left. Came to her house, got ready, drove to her ex-boyfriend's house. The wife had traveled, and the two of them spent the night together. All this time, she had been followed. They knew what she wore, where they went, what they did, everything. The following morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, her wedding was in the afternoon. She woke up lying next to her ex-boyfriend when there was a huge bang on his front gate, only for him to go open the gate, and there's about 4 or 5 guys, including the lady's new husband, the one she was going to church with, to do the ordinance marriage and sign everything and close this whole docket. And now the man says, I'm not doing this anymore. I wish you both the best of luck. And that's the end of the story. Now the wife, this woman, has fainted and is begging everybody and their dog to go and apologize to this man. These are some of the things that can happen when you're entertaining all these things in your mind and thinking that things can still work. You've moved on. Physically, you're telling your mind that you've moved on, but your heart and your emotions are not doing what your persona is doing. And so a lot of people become conflicted. They think that, oh, but, it's just a one time. It doesn't even, it was harmless. I didn't even feel anything for him anymore. It's my husband that I love, It's just that I've become so used to the Bula Matali, That ex of mine, his own was almost a foot long. Now I'm married to a man whose is like 3 inches. It's not reaching. It's not doing it for me enough. So, it was just the one time. But this one time can keep being a one time, and some people keep repeating that same thing over and over and over again. And one day, unfortunately, the thief ends up being caught. And something that you never thought would be a harmful situation for you has now ended up ruining a perfectly perfect relationship that you thought you were in that was going somewhere. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is that sometimes people get together and they have the same friends, especially when you're all schoolmates. Back in Ghana, you all went to the same either mixed school, or the boys were in the same boys school, the girls were in the same girls school, and now you're all intertwined. This one is dating, this one is dating that one, the other person is dating the other person, and now you guys get married. If anything happens and you split up, it gets very difficult. And I've seen and experienced situations where even friendship ties are broken. Because the guys that were friends with the man now think that if I'm talking to the girl, it's going to seem as if I'm siding with the woman, that now you guys are not together anymore. So some of the guys stop talking to the ladies because their loyalty should lie with their guy. Similarly, if there were girls that knew each other, like you were all friends in the same area, and the girls and the boys all grew up together and all knew each other, some of the ladies also feel that their loyalty lies with the woman, and so we want nothing to do with you guys anymore, or vice versa. When you're caught up in that sort of situation, you even lose friends, people that you genuinely care about, people that you grew up with. And so for some people, it's too much of a loss for them. So, let me keep this one on this. After all, if we talk sometimes, it doesn't really matter. Now, for people who are married, and as I said, this is a separate video on its own. Here is where the issues lie. Do you know that when you have a marriage, like you're in a marriage, and you're still entertaining your ex on the side, whether you're man or woman, isn't it very interesting that your ex always makes a point to get in touch with you at that specific time that you're going through a difficult patch with your significant other, whether it's husband or wife? Maybe your husband, you guys have had an argument and you've fallen out, and you're so mad and you're so angry and you're dealing with all of that. All of a sudden, your ex-boyfriend will send you a text message. Oh, hi, Sika. How are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. And because you're mad, before you realize, you start telling your ex-boyfriend what is going on. Oh, this man is pissing me off so much. And this happened, and that happened, and this happened. At that same time, he's also bored where he is at. So he's finding the opportunity. And before you know it, especially when you're in close proximity, the temptations for the two of you to start sharing things that are going on in your lives that you don't like to each other, and thinking that you can make something together, leaving your other partners, is really high. And so, my sister, please, I beg you, when you move on with your life, it's time for you to wholly divorce your past. The past is behind you. It's why it's called the past. It's called the past for a reason. It's there. Let sleeping dogs lie and move on with your life. My brother, If you wanted to marry your ex, you should have married her. You have now married somebody else. Make a home and a life with that person that you married. If your ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend was good enough for you, if he wanted you, if she wanted you, you guys would have still been together. The fact that you are not together anymore means that there was something that was wrong with it. It's why you didn't make it together. The moment you understand and accept this fact that it's done, like we've moved on, the happier it is for you. You can't eat your cake and have it. You're either eating the cake or you're not. But you can't eat the cake and still have the cake. And this is a big problem for a lot of us. And it's the reason why we get ourselves unknowingly or without thinking about it intertwined in situations that always end up in tears. Don't ever think that you're so sanctimonious or you're so holy or cheating is beyond you. Somehow you don't have any feelings inside of you anymore. And so if my ex-girlfriend even, is naked and is lying there with her legs wide apart, nothing will happen. My brother, please, you're still a human being with blood in your veins. You're not Jesus. The last time I checked, you are not God. Please. Know that you are still a human being with limitations. Don't set yourself up for failure. You're married to somebody else now, or you're with somebody else now. Make a point to make that new relationship that you claim that you like so much work out. And the last thing I would say is that there's no perfectionism anywhere. Everybody's brightening the corner where they find themselves. There's no perfect being out there. Even you that is looking for that perfection, you're not perfect either. But you're expecting whoever loves you to take you as you are, as they find you and make a home and a life with you. Likewise, be willing to do the same. And don't think that it gets easier anywhere else. You make your home and your sanctuary, that place that you love, and you make the most out of it. Create that thing that you're seeking by yourself with your own hands, and stop dipping toes in past rivers that are behind you, and look forward, projecting forwards into your destiny. My name is Sika, and I love you so much. I hope that this video has been helpful for somebody, and if it has, please share this video. I beg you, share this video. If you love me, I beg you, share this video. The more you like, you comment, you say what you think about it, the more this video goes viral. A lot of us love videos. We come and sit on it. We hear what people have to say, but we don't say anything. There's no love hearts. There's no engagement. There's no nothing. Me, I'm just here to come and watch it. I don't want to be involved in anything. And why are you here? Because this is social media. Social media. It has to be sociable. So you say something. I say something back. And we're having a fantastic time together. That's how it works. Please help me help you, and let's move this platform ahead. And for every single one of you that are here, the love hearts are amazing. You guys, you rock. Without you, who is Sika? Sika is nothing without you. Thank you all so much for your unwavering love and support day in, day out. You guys are amazing. You rock. And I love every single one of you so, so much. Please, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, which is also Sika Educates, it has about 759 subscribers or something like that. Please, as you're listening right now, just go to Sika Educates on YouTube, please, I beg you, and subscribe to that channel. The same name, the same spelling, and you see my pretty face on there, Sika Educates, and subscribe to that channel. Also on TikTok, you're not following. I beg you now. You claim to love me, but you're not loving me how I need to be loved. Please, if you haven't done so, and you're on TikTok or YouTube, please follow and subscribe to those channels as well. Those of you that are from Ghana that want to hear 3 channels, some of us love to hear our own local dialects and, so that we get a better understanding of what is happening. There's a page on Facebook called Balanced Cellular Health. Yeah, there's a lot of health stuff that is discussed there, but that's not the only reason for that platform. There's a lot that is upcoming, but we need the followers, otherwise Pastor Patience and I, who put videos on there, would not have anybody to speak to. So if you want us to keep going and, actually end up with joint videos that we talk about, issues on, then that is the page to go. And I'll put a link to it in the comment section of this platform for anybody who wants to do that. Oh, thank you so much, Uncle Raymond. We're going to talk very soon. As soon as I get off the phone, I think I have a meeting for an hour. And then after that, it's all your time with Uncle Raymond. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time, for your love, and everything in between. God bless us all. And please share this video. I love you. Mwah! Have a lovely Sunday. Bye for now. Bye.